NRVH radiation safety. Today, we are going to discuss how to stay safe when taking X-rays. As you can see by this slide, radiation need not be feared, but it must command your respect. You are permitted to receive no more than 5 REMs of radiation doses a year. We want you to only get 1 REMs per year. Each time an X-ray is generated, you are exposed to a certain number of millirems. So when you get a dosimetry reading from your badge, every quarter we get a report that gives us this number. If you're above the 1 REM per year, we will notify you. If you're under that mark, you won't hear from us. To decrease, this number is decreased when the number of X-rays generated by the machine is decreased. So the fewer X-rays, the fewer millirems. Because you receive occupational exposure of 1 REM per year, we're shooting for 30 years, this will decrease your life expectancy of a month. So we're trying to help you stay as safe as possible. To put this in perspective, if you were to smoke 20 cigarettes a day, your life expectancy will be 6.5 years less. Same as, overweight by 15%, you have a 2.7 year loss of life expectancy. There's also mining and quarrying, construction, agriculture, alcohol. So the occupational exposure isn't much compared to these others, but we certainly want to minimize it as much as possible. Without getting too technical, these are the different types of radiation. In this picture, we have the alpha rays, beta rays, and of course, those are UVA rays and UVB rays. UVA is not as dangerous as the UVB. It will penetrate your skin a little bit, whereas the UVB, will penetrate your skin and go all the way through your body to the other side, as well as a little bit of aluminum. So it's more forceful than the UVA. Gamma or X-rays are more forceful than the UVB rays, and they can go through your body, through aluminum, and partially through lead. So we do have to be careful. And the farther away you are from these things, the more protected you are. Neutrons are very dangerous, and they will go through your body, aluminum, lead, and partially through concrete. So this is just to show you the different forms of radiation. And so to protect you, we would like you to wear your lead apron, thyroid shield, and lead gloves. If you're exposing X-rays, or even if you're in the X-ray room helping to restrain a pet. If you are not protected, you need to stand at least 6 feet from the beam or more. Even if you could maybe stand around a corner or behind a lead partition. Norton Road does not have a lead partition, so that is not available to you. So if you are in the X-ray room, and while X-rays are being exposed, whether you're exposing them or restraining the pet, you must wear your lead apron, your thyroid shield, and your lead gloves. Another way to reduce radiation is to collimate the beam. In this little scheme here, the X-rays are generated in this tungsten device. They go down through a window and are allowed through this this is called the collimator diaphragm. And they come down through that to the PET down here. Of course, we can't see x-rays, so there is a light up here that shines down, and wherever the light is where x-rays are. When they come down and hit the table surface or the PET, they do actually cause scatter radiation. And you are also affected by this scatter radiation. It hits the surface or the table or the cat and bounces off in every direction, and you can be affected by these as well. So as much as possible, we want to set you up for success. If the pet can be sedated, that is helpful. And we also want to try to get it right the first time and not take multiple x-rays. As you can see in this other photo, this young lady is setting her machine. She has her lead apron, her thyroid protector, and her gloves. This pet, I hope, is sedated. And so she is the only person that we can see in this picture that is being exposed to x-rays. So that also is another way to reduce radiation, is the fewer people involved. And of course, we know that that's not always possible. It just depends on the patient. So who can take x-rays and who can restrain the PET? Only RVTs, assistants, or a student under the direct supervision of the RVT or DVM can take an x-ray. Any team member involved with the development of x-rays must have and wear a dosimetry badge. No one under the age of 18 is permitted to take x-rays or restrain pets. If you are or you might be pregnant, it is your responsibility to notify management immediately. Only people who have attended a radiation safety course and passed a quiz are permitted to take x-rays or restrain a pet here at Norton Road Veterinary Hospital. This is your radiation safety course, and there will be a little quiz afterwards. No part of the body, even a gloved hand, should be placed in the area of the x-ray beam. Here are some examples. As you can see, this one on the left, a gloved hand. No. And the x-ray on the right, ungloved hands. No. Both of these are a big no. These are two x-rays that are actually from our hospital. The one on the right here, I actually helped take, and as you can see, it's very crooked. This was the second shot of this view, and the pet was in the trough in both times. So at this point, we chose to discuss it with the doctor and see if she could see what she needed to in this view without taking multiple views. The one on the left, right here along the edge, is a knuckle of one of the team members. There is a way to edit that out. So certainly before accepting the x-rays or sending them out for viewed, we need to have multiple team members reviewing them to make sure that there is no fingers in the x-rays. And these are also, we've taken these x-rays, and if we send them out to OSU or MedVet or to IDEXX, I'm trying to think of the words I'm looking for, that is how those companies are seeing us. If we send them bad x-rays, you know, that's that's not good on our part. We really need to make sure that those x-rays are the best that we can develop before and to send out to these places. So no, no, no. Quality assurance and maintenance of the equipment also helps reduce radiation. The X-ray unit is serviced and calibrated and inspected by the state of Ohio every 3 years. Shannon is responsible for this. The aprons, the thyroid shields, and gloves should be stored without folding to reduce creasing and fracturing of the lead lining. These items should be checked every year to ensure that the lead linings are still intact. This is overseen by Shannon as well. Our X-ray procedure, first you need to determine the PET and body parts to be X-rayed. Don protective equipment, including your dosimetry badges, which should be placed on the outside of the lead at the thyroid level. Enter appropriate information into the computer, including your initials, as well as anyone that's helped you or is helping you. Measure the body part to be x-rayed and set the machine. Adjust the KVP and MAS to the appropriate settings as needed. Our machine does tend to run hot. So on those thin PETs, we definitely need to go down right off the bat. Don't even try to take an x-ray. Decrease by 10% at least. Be sure the door to the x-ray room is shut. Position the PET and then collimate the beam to the narrowest setting as possible. Collimate. Depress the pedal partially to charge the cylinder. Press completely to expose the film. And then be sure to log your settings on each x-ray. Be safe.